Hey everyone, imagine sitting down with a good friend, maybe over a cup of chai or coffee, and just diving deep into a book that truly shifted your perspective. That's exactly how I feel about this incredible collection of insights from Oprah Winfrey. What I know for sure. When you read a book by someone like Oprah, you expect wisdom. But what I found here was so much more personal and relatable than I ever anticipated. It all started, believe it or not, back in 1998, when the legendary film critic Gene Siskel asked her a simple but profound question during a live TV interview. Tell me, he asked, what do you know for sure? And Oprah, for perhaps the first time in her career, was completely stumped. She stammered for a bit, then admitted she needed more time to think about it. Well, 16 years later, that question became the central theme of her life. Her monthly column in Bold magazine, and ultimately, this book. It's a fascinating premise, isn't it? It made me think about what I know for sure. So what's this book all about? At its heart, it's a beautiful exploration of the everyday truths and profound lessons Oprah has learned throughout her life. Crystallized into what she calls moments of crystal clarity, she revisits 14 years worth of her columns, sometimes nipping and tucking but always affirming that when you know something, really know something, it stands the test of time. It's essentially her own private book of revelations shared with us so we can start asking ourselves the same questions Gene Siskel asked her. One of the first things she dives into is joy, and let me tell you, it's not about grand gestures. She talks about this wild, exhilarating experience of dancing on stage with Tina Turner, where she initially felt so self-conscious but then realized, okay bro, this is going to be over soon, and if I didn't loosen up, I would miss the fun. So she just danced. This led to a gift from her friend Maya Angelou. A song with the line, when you get the choice to set it out or dance, I hope you dance. Oprah truly believes that every day brings a chance to step out and dance, to live free of regret and full of laughter. She takes her pleasure seriously, finding five-star satisfaction in things like a strong cup of coffee, a walk with her dogs, or a great book. It's about being consciously attuned to how much pleasure you're receiving. What she knows for sure is that pleasure is energy reciprocated. What you put out comes back. This links so beautifully to gratitude, which is another major theme. For years, she kept a gratitude journal, writing down 5 things she was grateful for every day. She confesses she let it slip when life got busy, and realized that despite accumulating more wealth and possessions, her happiness hadn't grown. It was a powerful aha moment for her, realizing that she simply needed to make gratitude a daily priority again. She knows for sure that appreciating whatever shows up in your life changes your whole world. It transforms situations, shifting you from negative energy to positive. She recounts a time she was weeping uncontrollably, and Maya Angelou told her, stop it right now and say thank you. Maya explained that you say thank you because your faith is strong. You know you'll get through it, and there's always a rainbow coming. It's about letting your ego take a back seat and choosing appreciation. Now you might be thinking, but Oprah has had such a privileged life. What challenges has she faced? And that brings us to resilience. This section is incredibly vulnerable. She shares the painful truth of being sexually abused from age 10 to 14, and how she hid a pregnancy at 14 that sadly resulted in the baby's death. For years she carried the shame, fearing that if anyone found out, they would expel her from their lives. But when the story eventually leaked to the tabloids, she was devastated. Yet something unexpected happened. Nobody treated her differently. She realized that holding the shame was the greatest burden of all. She learned that healing the wounds of the past is one of life's biggest and most worthwhile challenges, and that we're each responsible for our own life and happiness. She talks about challenges not as obstacles but as gifts that force us to adjust our footing, to find a new center of gravity. What I know for sure is that the only way to endure the quake is to adjust your stance. It's about facing your fears, because whatever you fear most has no power. It is your fear that has the power. She says that your deepest struggle, if you're willing, can produce your greatest strength. This leads us right into connection. Oprah emphasizes that we all at our core long to be loved, needed, and understood. But here's the kicker: she knows for sure that a lack of intimacy isn't distance from someone else, it's disregard for yourself. You are your own best mother, father, friend, and lover. She spent years seeking validation from men, but realized that the love and approval she craved could not be found outside herself. If you don't already know that you have worth, there's nothing your friends, your family, or your mate can say that will completely convince you of that. The loving begins with you. And on the topic of connection, her bond with Gayle King is beautifully highlighted. They've talked every day since 1976, helping each other through everything from demotions to sexual harassment. Gayle is her boldest cheerleader and has taught her the joy of having and being a true friend. They even survived an 11-day road trip together, proving their friendship was real. Another powerful lesson comes in the section on clarity, where she shares her struggle with the disease to please. For years, she said yes to almost anyone who asked, feeling overwhelmed and depleted. Her cure came from understanding the principle of intention from Gary Zukav's Deceit of the Soul. She realized that her intention for saying yes was often to avoid people being angry or to be seen as nice, but that created a barrage of requests in her life. So she made a vow: never again will I do anything for anyone that I do not feel directly from my heart. She learned that you must get clear about who you are before you can beat the disease to please. She now has the courage to say, "This is who I am." She also emphasizes the importance of self-care, like her evening hot baths or talking things out with Gayle. Because you can't give what you don't have. It's like the airplane oxygen mask theory: put yours on first so you can help others. This ties into possibility and living your best life. Oprah constantly asks herself, how can I realize my potential more fully? She shares that the true meaning of courage is to be afraid, and then, with your knees knocking, to step out anyway. She believes that you are built not to shrink down to less but to blossom into more. It's about pursuing your passion, finding what you love, and then doing it, because if you can get paid for doing what you love, every paycheck is a bonus. This isn't just about career, it's about the biggest thrill you can ever achieve, which is to live the life of your dreams. She also talks about money and debt here, how her father taught her the value of not being in debt, and how she paid off her $1,800 debt by eating Raisin Bran and buying a cheap car. She learned that having the best things is no substitute for having the best life. It's about purchasing with purpose, adding meaningful things to your life. The theme of awe is also deeply personal. She describes a profound spiritual encounter during a hike, experiencing utter and complete stillness, where she could hear her own heart beating. There was a moment of heaven on earth, a realization that this stillness is always available to us if we peel back the layers of your life, the frenzy, the noise. She believes in miracles. Not just the grand ones, but seeing the world with light in your eyes. It's the simple things: running 5 miles, a bowl of favorite soup waiting, a beautiful sunset, the sound of birds. She says, the big miracles we're waiting on are happening right in front of us. At every moment, with every breath. Finally, we arrive at power. For Oprah, authentic power comes when purpose aligns with personality to serve the greater good. It's about fulfilling your soul's intention and heart's desire. She shares a story from after Hurricane Katrina, where she reflected on the us and them mentality and realized, there is no them, there's only us. Every difficult moment has a silver lining, and it's our job to learn from them. She sees her weight, for example, not as a food issue but a spiritual one, a smoke detector for her disconnection from her true self. She discovered that for her, extra pounds corresponded to unresolved anxieties and fears. If you can conquer the fear, you'll fly. This whole journey culminates in her strong belief in the golden rule and the law of cause and effect. We receive from the world what we give to the world. So, if you're looking for happiness, she asks, what are you giving to the world? Happiness is not something you get from others, it's directly proportional to the love you're able to give. Her ultimate goal is a transformation of consciousness that allows me to know that I am no better or worse than any other being, that I simply am. So what's the ultimate takeaway from this beautiful book? It's an invitation to live with intention, to embrace every experience, good or bad, as a teacher, to listen to your inner voice, to take responsibility for your own happiness, and to continuously evolve into the fullest expression of yourself. She writes, who you're meant to be evolves from where you are right now. The gift of life is to recognize that because you will die, you must live now. Your journey begins with the choice to get up, step out, and live fully. This book is a powerful reminder that we're all artists of our own lives, with as many colors and brushstrokes as we like. It's about being grateful for every age you're blessed to become, finding miracles in the ordinary, and understanding that spirituality is recognizing your connection to all creation. It's about letting go of what doesn't serve you and cleaning house, both literally and metaphorically, to make it easier to fly. If you're feeling stuck or just need a gentle nudge to live more authentically, I cannot recommend this book enough. It's not just a read, it's a conversation with a wise friend who reminds you that you've always had the power. You just have to be still enough to find it, and that, my friends, can truly change everything.